Section 2.3, called slopes of lines. We're going to be using the slope formula a lot in this section. So what is slope? Slope is the rise of a line divided by the run of the line. In other words, how high up or down a line climbs divided by how far to the right or left a line runs. Okay, so the slope of a line, we use m for the slope of a line. So m equals the change in y, so y2 minus y1, over the change in x, x2 minus x1. So that is called the slope formula. We're going to use that a lot today. So next slide here, the first thing I did is I went ahead and plotted all these points. I wanted to figure out where they were all located. So A, B, C, and D, where are they located? A is at negative 2, 7, B is at 3, 7, C is at 4, 2, and D is at negative 2, 1. We're going to find the slope of all four of these lines, starting with AC. Okay, the slope of AC, so we're going to do 2 minus 7, y minus y, divided by 4 minus negative 2, x minus x. That's using these 2 points right there. 2 minus 7 is negative 5. 4 plus 2 is 6. If you can reduce that, great. If you can't, that's it. So that's our answer. Our slope is negative 5, 6. Just so you know, a little information here. Negative 5, 6 is the same as 5 over negative 6. It's also the same as negative 5, 6, like that. You can write it with the negative on top, bottom, or out in front. They're all the same. All right, the next one, we're going to do DC. So DC is these 2 points right here. So slope of DC is going to be 2 minus 1 over 4 minus negative 2. So that's 1 over 6. That is not reducible, so that's it. That's our answer. 1/6. So AD, we're using these points right here. So for AD, we're going to do 7 minus 1 over negative 2 minus negative 2. And that gives us 6 over 0. Anything divided by 0 is always the same thing. You cannot divide by 0. It's not allowed in math. It's not possible. So anything divided by 0 we say is undefined. And what kind of a line is line AD? Well, that is a vertical line. And the slope of every vertical line will always be undefined. Not just in this class, but forever. The slope of every vertical line will always be undefined. So our last one here is AB. So that slope would be 7 minus 7 over 3 minus negative 2, which is 0 over 5. Okay, 0 over anything is not undefined. 0 over anything is defined. If you divide anything going into 0, the answer is always 0. And what kind of a line is AB? Well, AB is a horizontal line. So any horizontal line will always have a slope of 0. Again, not just in this class, but always. Okay, so why are we doing slope formula? Well, that's how we figure out if lines are parallel or perpendicular in a coordinate plane. If two lines have the same slope, those two lines are parallel. If those two lines have slopes whose product is negative 1, there's another way, I'll talk about that in a second, those are perpendicular. That's not really the best way to think about it. I'll talk about the best way to think about it here, right below this. If a line has slope of A over B, then the slope of any perpendicular line would be negative B over A. The ratios A over B and negative B over A are called opposite reciprocals. That's how you know if lines are perpendicular or not. If their slopes are opposite reciprocals, they're perpendicular. Okay, so let's take a look at a problem here. First thing we're going to do is plot these 4 points. U is at 0, 2. B is at -1, -1. Let's draw that line. And then X is at 3, 1. And Y is at -3, 3. Okay, so I got my 2 lines drawn. Just looking at them, do they look parallel? Definitely not. They should not be parallel. Are they perpendicular? They might be. We don't know yet, but they might be perpendicular or they might be neither. So let's find the slopes and see. So let's do the slope of UV first. That's what M subscript UV means, slope of UV. So Y minus Y over X minus X. That's -3 over -1, which we can reduce to just 3. And now the slope of XY. That would be 3 minus 1, so Y minus Y, over -3 minus 3, so X minus X. That would be 2 over -6, which reduces down to -1/3. All right, so now you got to ask yourselves, is 3, or 3 over 1, and -1 over 3 the same? Obviously not, so they're not parallel. Are they opposite reciprocals? Well, one's positive and one's negative, so they're opposite. And 3 over 1 is the reciprocal of 1 over 3. So they are reciprocals. So they are opposite reciprocals, which means these 2 lines are perpendicular, which means these 4 angles right here are right angles. So we say line UV is perpendicular to line XY. Okay, for the second one, again, the first thing you want to do is plot our points and draw our lines. So here I have H, I, G, and J all plotted. And then we're going to find the slopes of H, G, and I, J. So the slope of GH, we can reduce that down to 1. The slope of IJ, we can reduce that down to 2. Are 1 and 2 the same? Obviously not, so they're not parallel. Are 1 and 2 opposite reciprocals? So 1 is 1 over 1, 2 is 2 over 1. Are those opposites? No. Are those reciprocals? No, they're neither, but it doesn't matter because they're not opposite reciprocals. So they're not parallel and they're not perpendicular, which means these are neither. Our last problem, please pause the video and try this one. It should take you about 2 minutes. Come back when you're done. Okay, here's what you should have got for the last problem. The slope of CD is 2. The slope of EF is 2. Therefore, EF and CD are parallel. All right, that's all we got for today. We have one more section left in this chapter, and we'll do that the next time we have class. Have a good rest of your day.